How's it going, Ayo? In this video, we're going to get into the latest Colleen Ballinger video, which has been making the rounds on social media. The fact that Keke Palmer has gotten shamed by her own boyfriend on Twitter, and people calling for a boycott of Ben & Jerry's over one of their posts. So just when you thought things couldn't get any worse for Colleen, yet another troubling video has resurfaced of her. This time it shows her performing a Beyonce song with some kind of dark makeup on her face. Apparently this was made in 2018, which only makes you question it more. She was performing Single Ladies on stage along with two backup dancers who were doing the choreography from the music video. All three of them were putting on quite the show, but for whatever reason, Colleen was the only one with some kind of paint on her face. It's not entirely clear where this all went down, though it's clearly supposed to be funny in some kind of way. As expected, the comments section under that video shows that people have absolutely had it with her. If she wasn't cancelled before, she is certainly cancelled now. One person wrote, "I didn't even know who this woman was until all her controversies. I never need to hear about her again because everything I've heard is horrible." Another person wrote, "This was in 2018. I had no idea this happened. Did Colleen not get called out for this or address it? How did she think this was okay? 2018 is not that long ago." Of course, people are arguing about the exact date that this all took place, but it doesn't make it any less questionable. For people who followed her on YouTube, you'll know that this is not the first time she's been involved in something like this. A video from 10 years ago depicts Colleen and her sister in exaggerated makeup putting on accents that create a degrading stereotype of Latinas. The video was suitably called "Miranda Sings is Racist," as well as a video entitled "How to Sing Like a Black Woman." They all made light of offensive stereotypes. Alongside this, the Miranda Sings Twitter account was home to a slew of offensive tweets making fun of Asian and Black communities. In another resurfaced video, Colleen went on a rant about a plus-size woman who sat next to her on a plane. She then addressed all of these controversies in the one video, calling them stupid mistakes. She starts off by admitting that the characters that she and her sister played were completely based in racial stereotypes. She said, "It's not funny and it's completely hurtful. I'm so ashamed and embarrassed that I ever thought this was okay. I was a sheltered teenager who was stupid and ignorant and clearly extremely culturally insensitive." She said that years later she and her sister realized that what they did was not right, and then they decided to delete the video because they didn't want anyone to be hurt. But of course this still didn't sit right with a lot of people. Now Colleen's friend and collaborator Trisha Paytas has also spoken out against her. She released a 21-minute video claiming that Colleen would send her nude photos to her underage fans. Fans have also claimed that she would make fun of Trisha behind her back. She said that it wasn't just on one occasion, that there were multiple times that she sent different photos of her. She said, "These weren't a long time ago. This is someone well into their 30s who just gave birth sending nudes. And a month prior, I was in her house meeting her newborn and doing a mukbang with her." She went on to say that the entire situation is embarrassing and that hearing all of this horrible stuff about her body is a lot. Trisha does acknowledge that while she is on OnlyFans and that's a job that she chose, she said that it never feels good to have someone just make fun of her naked body. She said, "It's just a vulnerable thing. It's a little embarrassing if I'm being honest, but I'm more embarrassed that this is the kind of person she is." She went on to say, "Sending these to fans unsolicited, the context of which she was sending these, I don't get the purpose. I don't know if there was an inside joke that I'm missing." Trisha also said that she confronted Colleen and asked her about all these allegations, but in response she only got denial. Colleen assured her that she had never sent these photos to anyone and that everything was being taken out of context. Trisha said, "I don't stand behind Colleen whatsoever. Her video was not an apology and it took away from the severity of her actions of talking to minors, bringing minors on stage at her show. These people are speaking up and they're uncomfortable for a reason. Acknowledge it, change it, and do better." Lastly, Trisha clarified that they were never close friends, but they were friendly with each other and they got along with one another when they would see each other. So it's no wonder that she's finally speaking out. Alright, now everyone is talking about what is going on with Keke Palmer's boyfriend. Fans were shocked when her partner and the father of her child, Darius Dalton Jackson, publicly shamed her for wearing a sexy outfit to Usher's Las Vegas show. Keke was wearing a sheer black dress over a matching thong bodysuit, and she was being serenaded by Usher with one of his hit songs called "There Goes My Baby." A video of the moment went viral, which shows her wrapping her arms around him while he places his hand on her lower back. That moment seemed to be completely innocent, as Keke was clearly just having a good time, enjoying the music of one of her favorite artists and friends. But not everyone reacted the same way. Her boyfriend Darius chose to call her out on Twitter, basically complaining about her dress. He wrote, "It's the outfit though, you're a mom." Then when people started to question his comment, he posted another tweet explaining his stance. He wrote, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and the mother of his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. values. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case. Now, as expected, this has not been going down too well for Darius. In fact, his comment section has been particularly savage, with people pointing out that Keke is the real breadwinner of the family and that he's just jealous and insecure. Someone wrote, "The man of the family, but she's the one putting the food on the table," and "This tweet is more embarrassing to your family than the outfit was." Most of the jokes about the situation seem to be at his expense, pointing out the fact that Keke has more money than him and is obviously a very successful person, which might be the reason why he's trying to embarrass her online. One person tweeted, "How are you the man of the family and your wife's bank account is 12 times the amount of yours? Sit down and feed Keke Palmer her grapes. Know your place and don't ever speak on her again." Out of all the responses, most people seem to agree that shaming your wife and the mother of your child on a public platform is embarrassing. He easily could have aired his grievances in private and had this discussion directly with Keke instead of making a Twitter discourse. And you can bet that this is a topic which will get discussed for weeks on all sorts of relationship podcasts. Suggesting that she needs to cover up or dress differently just because she's a mom is something that women have been hearing for such a long time. The reason it's such a contentious issue is because it really plays into the idea that women can't be multifaceted beings, that once you become a mom, you have to start dressing like one, and you're not allowed to have a social life anymore or be considered sexy. Of course, there were also a lot of men who supported Darius and agreed with what he had to say. One person pointed out the hypocrisy and wrote, "Same women that find fault when their man compliments other women are the ones shouting that Keke Palmer's baby daddy is insecure." Well, either way, it's really strange to see that this discourse has become so public. Darius and Keke have been largely private when it comes to their relationship. In 2021, she talked about the difficulties of posting photos of the two of them online. She said, "It's become more difficult to hide. We spend all this time together and he really is my closest friend. So it just becomes a thing where I'm not gonna hide something that makes me happy." The actress revealed her pregnancy during her opening monologue on SNL. In the midst of fans speculating that she was expecting, she confirmed the rumors to be true. She opened her coat to show her bum to the audience and they cheered loudly. She said, "I've got to say though, it is bad when people on the internet spread rumors about you, but it's even worse when they're correct. I was trying so hard to keep it on the down low because I've got a lot of stuff going on." Apparently people kept coming up to her and saying congratulations, all the while she was trying to keep it low key since she had a liquor sponsorship on the line. Keke said, "Let the check clear, then we can get to the damn baby shower," which was absolutely hilarious. But she's clearly loving being a mom and doing such a great job at it, regardless of what she chooses to wear. Alright, now have you heard about what's been going on with Ben & Jerry's? The ice cream company threw up a statement on Tuesday with a tweet that said, "The United States was founded on stolen indigenous land. This 4th of July, let's commit to returning it." Their website also had a similar post where they argued that Independence Day celebrations could distract from an essential truth about the nation's birth. They said, "What is the meaning of Independence Day for those whose land this country stole? Those who were murdered and forced with brutal violence onto reservations. Those who were pushed from their holy places and denied their freedom. The faces on Mount Rushmore are the faces of men who actively work to destroy indigenous cultures and ways of life, to deny indigenous people their basic rights." Now, of course, the post generated a flood of negative responses on social media, with some people comparing the company to Bud Light and the massive boycott that happened over there. Pretty much right away, they started getting attacked on Twitter. People accused the brand of being a traitor to the country for pushing out what they consider anti-American views, which just so happened to fall on the biggest national holiday meant to celebrate America. One person wrote, "Time to boycott Ben & Jerry's. They want you to give back the house and yards you're paying a mortgage on." Another person wrote, "Why on earth would any true American support these twisted woke liberals? Boycott Ben & Jerry's, speak out." Clearly, some people were very offended by their message. It's too early to tell whether or not there's actually going to be a boycott though. Stocks for Unilever, the company that owns Ben & Jerry's, fell by 0.53% today, though the company does own around 400 brands in total, so it's unlikely that this has anything to do with their 4th of July message. Ben & Jerry's Canada also got involved and tweeted out a link to an online petition. They wrote, "Another day to talk about land back and how we can support communities defending their land. Take action this Canada Day." The form is a pre-worded letter to the federal government demanding the disbandment of the controversial Community Industry Response Group. The task force has been accused of violations of human rights, civil liberties, and racist and violent violent attacks on Indigenous people. But as you can probably imagine, a lot of people also took issue with these posts as well. Conservative commentator Dave Rubin tweeted, "Did you know that Ben & Jerry's was sold to a giant corporate conglomerate over 20 years ago for a cool $326 million? Socialists love nothing more than capitalism for themselves." In this particular instance, it seems like the customers are frustrated that they're voicing their opinion about something other than their ice cream recipe. It's also because some of their messaging comes off as a little hypocritical. On their website they wrote, "Capitalism and the wealth it produces do not create opportunity for everyone equally. But for a business that inherently exists to make money, it's a very interesting angle to take." Regardless of all the backlash though, it's pretty clear that Ben & Jerry's is going to continue speaking up for causes that they believe in. This is not the first time they've posted political messages, and it certainly won't be the last. So what do you guys think about this latest story? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.